Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti. My topic of this discussion this evening is the Miracle League of Connecticut, and with me to discuss this evening's topic is Rich McCarthy from the Miracle League.
How
Sir,
you doing?
Hey, bud.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Good. Very good. Thank you.
Long time no see.
Exactly.
It's been a while.
It has.
It has been. So, Rich, tell us a little bit about the Miracle League of Connecticut and what exactly you guys do.
Okay. So the Miracle League of Connecticut started about 12 years ago.
Okay.
And we built the first fully accessible baseball field 10 years ago in West Hartford. The Miracle League's mission, it started out at Conyers, Georgia, and the mission is to build fully accessible fields. So it's a synthetic flat baseball field without any raised surfaces or baseball, so that children with disabilities or a variety of unique needs can all participate on a field.
Cool.
So. But with that, the Miracle League of Connecticut is a lot more than just baseball.
Okay.
And so the programming from that program, and we like to say it was kind of a seed that was planted 10 years ago. You build a field, now how do you use it?
Right.
The field has a backstop, and so you hang a large white sheet and you show movies, and now it becomes a family-friendly event.
There you go.
In the fall, we started a Halloween and made it an accessible neighborhood.
Cool.
You know, when you start to think about children with requiring assistive devices for wheelchairs or walkers to get around, it's difficult in neighborhoods to go trick-or-treating.
Absolutely.
And so it provided us with an opportunity to invite the community to be a part of it. But from there, we've really have expanded into really kind of three main areas.
Okay.
Some of it's education, athletics, and cultural events.
Okay.
And so in that regard, what we have from an educational perspective is we have parent nights, and basically providing parents an opportunity to go out and meet other parents that are maybe experiencing the same kind of unique challenges with having children with disabilities and things. And we bring in some, it's a social event primarily, and then we bring in some educational type things. But, you know, so we'll go with that. We have, we provide a lot of opportunities for children and partner with the Connecticut Science Center.
Oh, cool.
And we have sensory-friendly opportunities there where maybe the lights are toned down, the sound's toned down, things of that nature. Cultural events, we have a theater arts program which takes place in the summertime, and where the children actually get to create, write, and perform their own shows. We have adaptive dance programs in the spring and the fall.
Okay.
And then really the athletic side of it all, we have spring and fall baseball. We have bowling leagues. We have a learn to swim program that we do annually, and it's kind of rotating throughout the year. We also sponsor a I Can Bike Camp. Which is a one-week camp. You're probably familiar with it. The Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut.
That's right.
That's really kind of how they got started.
That's right.
With being a part of that when we had the program down here in East Lyme. But what that does is provide children the opportunity to learn to ride a two-wheeler at the end of a week and experience that joy and freedom of independence.
Cool.
So
now you brought it up. I didn't.
Okay.
Now you and I are mutual colleagues because you're on the board of directors for the Miracle League of Connecticut.
Yes.
I'm on the board of directors for the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut.
Yes.
So you and I run into each other every couple months.
Yes. Yeah, you're being nice, Pete. It's
exactly.
It's when I can make a meeting.
Exactly.
You are there all the time.
Nah, sometimes.
But yeah, so, you know, really, again, the Miracle League of Connecticut's mission was to help plant, again, the seed. And because we have over 150 children participating in our baseball league in the spring, and they represent 40 different communities here in Connecticut with, you know, some families traveling over an hour to have that opportunity. And so with that, it's part of our mission to help plant the seed in other parts of the state of Connecticut, and hopefully develop fields in those areas that then become the center of other activities So Connecticut families don't have to travel that far. I believe that the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut's field that was just built here in 2020,
Right.
which is the second field here in Connecticut, was also the fourth in all of New England.
Okay.
So when we go back to the West Hartford field and the Miracle League, the origination of Miracle League of Connecticut, that was the first field built in all of New England.
Right.
So there are two more, I believe, up in Massachusetts now.
Now, what types of, how big is your board?
So our board of directors, we have two things. We have an operating board, which is approximately 10 individuals. And then we have an advisory board, which is another 15 individuals.
Wow. Okay.
And the advisory board is made up of individuals within the business sector of Central Connecticut. And, and those that we've created affiliations with and partnerships. The Hartford Yard Goats, and Tim Restle, the president, is on our advisory board. Baseball coaches of University of St. Joseph's, University of Hartford, and then there's other academia as well as business members.
Exactly. You guys sound like a very busy organization.
We are. We have a number of programs that go year-round. We're excited because we just launched what's called Build a Brick Club. And it's a club that was formed over in the UK. Lego was a sponsor of that over there. And we had 3 representatives that were selected to be the first participants here in the U.S. that actually traveled over to the London area in the UK to be trained and to learn the program. And so we've brought that back and have started the Build a Brick program. And really what it is, it's taking 3 individuals, a combination of typically developing children along with others with special needs, and working together. And building a project and building a brick. So it helps to enhance communication and interaction and social skills. We're currently going to be partnering with Southern Connecticut State University.
Oh, cool.
And having a second location for the Build a Brick program also.
Nice.
So it's another program that we hope to grow here in the region.
Now, how did you guys handle the pandemic from the beginning to where we are now?
Okay, well, with the pandemic, like most, we had to really take a hard look at some of our programs. And we put some on pause. So our swim program was on pause for a number of years during the pandemic. We also had in the wintertime, kind of a gym series where weekly children of different ages would participate in different types of gym activities and things. And due to that, but what we did was in the spring and fall, while the weather was nice, our dance program was held out on the field.
Oh, there you go.
And then we basically did, like everybody else, learned how to use Zoom. And and once a month we would have a Zoom program where we would telecast with, again, partnering with the Science Center. And representatives of the Science Center would show, with some simple materials, how to do a science project. Or we'd have an art class. We had storytelling. And so we came up with some different programs that would capture our participants and their families' interests.
Now, as far as we're obviously going into the spring, what types of programs do we have to offer for the spring season? Okay,
well, our largest is the spring baseball program starting up. As we mentioned, our Brick Club program is continuing. We have what we call a series of 5 different events that we call our Summer of Fun activities. And so coming up here in April, we have what we call our Spring Fling, which will be held in Bushnell Park in the old carousel that's there. And so what we do is we take that carousel for the day, we kind of take it over, We tone down the music. We make it more sensory friendly for our families. Lego comes in. Some of the local businesses, Dunkin' Donuts is there. We have face painting and puzzles, and we have a lot of activities for the children that day to be able to run around and enjoy the carousel.
Absolutely. Sounds like a very, very cool day.
Yes, it's a fun day and well attended. So, but it's one of 5 events, as I mentioned. We really kick it off Super Bowl Sunday. We call it Super Bowling. So we have a family bowling day. It starts with that. Then we have our spring fling. Then we'll have a day where all of our families will attend the Hartford Yard Goats in a baseball game.
Oh, cool.
And do that. And then at the end of the season in August, we have our So Long Summer Picnic along in conjunction with the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut.
That's right.
That's held at Hammonasset State Park down here. And then the last event is typically the day before Halloween, where we'll do our Halloween trick-or-treating.
There you go. Would you mind sticking around for another segment?
Sounds well.
All right, we'll be right back.
You matter.
You matter.
You matter.
And your words matter too.
Your words matter.
What you say in the hallways at school or in the student section at a game matters.
Words can be hurtful.
Words can be offensive.
Words can leave scars.
Words can also inspire.
Support and uplift.
You and your words.
Are they both important?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights, vests,
please give us some room.
slow down. Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please.
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
Move over.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Rich McCarthy from the Miracle League of Connecticut. Rich, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Pleasure to be back.
Thank you. So, Rich, we were talking a little bit about in the first segment all the cool things that the Miracle League of Connecticut does. Your choice. What do you want to open up talking about the segment with?
Well, I think there's our partnerships with the local community have been really great and very supportive. As I mentioned briefly, the Hartford Yard Goats have been fantastic.
Have they?
They have their community section with tickets for the children and things, as well as having center field and toning down the sensory-friendly type of events. So the Yard Goats have been fantastic in that. One of our newest partners is actually the Hartford Wolfpack.
Oh, cool.
And so this past Friday evening, the Wolfpack actually competed against the Providence Bruins.
Okay.
And so they had a sensory-friendly night where they actually turned down and reduced the lighting, the strobe lights, the horns, things of that impact the children, but made it a Miracle League night.
Cool.
And so we had a whole section for our families to attend, did the puck drop, proceeds and things like that were all dedicated towards the Miracle League and its mission and things. But besides that, we've had a long-standing relationship with the University of Hartford, now with St. Joe's.
Yeah.
A really important part of the Miracle League programs are really their buddies.
Yeah.
And the buddies are there to, and especially it's most prevalent in baseball, to be there to help assist the kids, but assist them in learning the sport.
Right.
And so it's been a lot of fun because the University of Hartford baseball team and softball teams and the youth that participate in their programs are the buddies of the children.
Absolutely.
And so they get excited about that. And more importantly, it really breaks down another barrier or wall, the awkwardness of some children with Little League and high school age buddies are there, are learning that all children are the same.
Absolutely.
And so that's a key component of the Miracle League programs.
Absolutely. Now, as far as, let's talk about the benefit for both children with special needs and developmental children.
Yeah, so, the benefit is it's really creating the environment, and it's really for the families and everything. A third component of some of the programs that we do is we operate and run programs called SIB shops.
Okay.
And really what that is that's a program that brings together the siblings of children with special needs.
Okay.
And so, sometimes what gets lost is the sacrifices that siblings have to make, for their brother or sister, or the family because of special accommodations that that child requires and things. And so, we have events there in the past. We've had events where we've taken the siblings up to, a Bruins game or different things, or it's just an opportunity for the siblings to be together, vent, or share, their experiences. The benefit, like I said, really for the families and different things is, they can go to the Bushnell.
Right.
They can go to a ball game.
Yeah.
They can go to a hockey game.
Right.
And be someplace where they're accepted. Sometimes children need to run around, or
Absolutely.
Or have an outburst.
Yeah.
But it's it's totally accepted.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. And one thing we have to mention, or else we're both going to get in trouble.
Okay.
With the Miracle League of Connecticut, you guys have an executive director. We have to mention
Yes.
our friend, or else we're both going to get in trouble.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Who is that?
So the executive director of the Miracle League of Connecticut is Mike Mashad.
Okay.
Mike is one of the original founders of the Miracle League.
Absolutely.
It really kind of goes back to Mike was part of West Hartford Little League.
Oh, okay.
And back in the day, probably 12, 15 years ago, Mike was actually watching a show. And the Miracle League was introduced, and on that show.
Oh, cool.
And the name escapes me right now, but there was a famous writer for Sports Illustrated at that time that was doing the narration, and they were forming kind of the layout of some baseball fields, and there was a small parcel that was too small to be a normal baseball field. By Little League standards.
Right.
And so, Mike and a group of others earmarked that site and said, geez, wouldn't it be great to build a Miracle League field someday? And as I said, they registered, and about 12 years ago, started to fundraise. And the field was built 2 years later. And as I said, we just celebrated the last year, 2022, the 10th year anniversary of the field.
Wow.
So.
Now, does the field in West Hartford sort of look like the field in East Lyme?
No, the field in East Lyme is bigger, better, and nicer. So, yeah, because of the constraints of the size of the field, it's a smaller baseball field. So it's a baseball field, the fences aren't as deep.
Right.
With the ability to have the additional space in East Lyme, there's a rectangular outfield, which makes it more conducive to field sports.
Oh, cool.
And so here in East Lyme, the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut is the ability to play lacrosse or soccer or those types of things. So, which is much nicer and provides that opportunity. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. So going forward, where's the Miracle League of Connecticut going?
Yeah, so with the Miracle League of Connecticut, it's really kind of, again, working hard to, although we've been around for 10 years, you'd be surprised. So our objectives are really to kind of create greater awareness. To, again, plant the seed for additional fields in other parts of the state. We're really kind of focused on, in the short term,
right.
We have to resurface the field in West Hartford. So that surface will look more like the Southeastern Connecticut field.
Okay.
And then, as all not-for-profits, it's the sustainability factor.
Absolutely.
And continuing in that. So, we've all been involved now for 10 plus years, and we need to continue to develop and expand boards and introduce programs that we can develop our successors so that the program continues to benefit children and their families for years and years to come.
Now, you being president of the board, obviously you try to get out to as many events as you humanly possibly can. Do you have a favorite event?
They're all special in their own way. I enjoy Easter, but I enjoy trick or treat.
Trick or treating? No.
But what I really enjoy, though, is the baseball games.
Yeah.
Being a dad of 3 boys that went through Little League and everything else and that nature. Sometimes that can get a little crazy with parents being involved. But when you watch the children in the Miracle League actually getting that opportunity just to swing a bat, just to be on a field, it really reduces baseball to its purest sense of joy.
Absolutely.
And that's the part that I really enjoy the most.
Absolutely.
So.
Now, tell us about the partnership with the Yard Goats that you guys have.
Yeah, so the Yard Goats got involved really early on with the Miracle League, and led by Tim Restall, who's the president of the Yard Goats. It's been fantastic. I mean, we've had opportunities to hold events, special events there at the fields. We work with special camps. We have a camp coming up.
Really?
With the field. It's going to be over the summer. It's still in the organizational part.
Okay, sure.
But please be sure to check the website.
Right.
That information will be there.
Okay.
As I said last year, we basically rented out the center field and provided at a discounted rate with generosity of our sponsors and different folks the opportunity to be at a game. And whether it's been players over the years that have showed up to different events or in things, they've been great in the community and a big supporter of the Miracle League.
I was going to say you probably have some pretty famous people that are involved with the Miracle League and people that show up just out of the blue to say hello, right?
Yes, yeah. One of the really, in a little bit of a side story, kind of crazy things that occurred was a number of years back, we got a phone call out of the blue from Andrew Bailey. Okay. And Andrew Bailey is currently a Major League Baseball coach. Successful relief pitcher. He had played for the Red Sox, but greatest success was with the Oakland A's.
Really?
And he had called us out of the blue. He was, I think, living down in the Westport area, and his child actually participated in one of our programs with lacrosse.
Really?
And, unbeknownst to any of us, and he called, and he's now also an advisory board member of the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut.
Yes, that's right.
And but that's out of the blue. Sometimes we get some of those. The Wolf Pack, again, one of their players. Current players, their child has special needs and has participated in our programs.
Really?
And that's really kind of what spearheaded that.
Cool.
In our event, things of that nature. So you never know who you touch and how you impact them. But as long as you continue to try to do your best and do everything for the right reasons.
Absolutely.
It's some pretty special moments.
It is, absolutely. And now you guys have an event coming up sometime in the spring with the Yard Goats, correct?
Yes. So in June, we will have our day at the Yard Goats.
Okay.
And again, tickets are available and things of that nature. That will be on our website. And then in September, we have our charity fundraising golf event, which will be held at the Golf Club of Avon. That's around the third Tuesday of September. But again, more details will be on our website.
Yeah, I'm sure everything that everybody needs to know about everything going on is going to be on the website.
Yes,
and
most definitely.
Contact information if people want to be involved, because I'm assuming you guys are always looking for
volunteers,
extra help, volunteers,
friends, anybody that can help. So again, we believe if you plant the seed and nurture it, great things will grow.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Even if you just spread the word.
Absolutely.
Because,
Rich from the Miracle League of Connecticut, thanks for some time, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
On behalf of Rich McCarthy, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next time.